This little video is slightly different from the rest because normally the climbing clowns will do stuff like hiking in Munros and maybe trips along Scotland or whatever we fancy, to be honest with you, outdoors. However, to vary it up a wee bit, you're probably aware that that is not an option for me just now. Primarily because I've snapped my tibia in half about 4 or 5 weeks ago, and the recovery plan is probably a good 6 months minimum. So I'm going to have to find other ways to kind of keep myself proactive. So apart from hobbling around outside, of course, there's other muscles in the body that require attention. So for example, I'd need to remain doing the physio on my leg and ankle as instructed, pretty much all the way up. However, you've got to bear in mind that you've got your torso, you've got your arms, your chest, etc., which the arms will be in motion with the crutches, but in regards to your torso and your chest, a lot of the time I'd be doing exercises pre the injury. Now, I'm going to try today and do some exercises in the house, in my living room. The gym is not an option, so anywhere beyond local is not an option. So I've got the moon boot off and I have the equipment ready on the floor. We'll have a wee look. So there's the moon boot off, and on the floor here I've got the chest press at the back, which is multicoloured to suit different muscular needs. Some of them work on the shoulder blades, others will work on your chest, and so forth. This strange thing in the middle, that is literally to release your legs wide enough to work on the pelvis and the hip bone area. So the majority of people will use, obviously, their legs going back and forth every day, walking about. But this here will basically get those muscles in order for the top of your legs, in between your knees and so forth. Of course, you've got the mat there if you were doing crunchies or sit-ups, things like that. And then last but not least, this multicoloured big pile of wires here is actually the same as kind of dumbbells. Each string represents different weights. Now I've just attached them all, which is normally what I do anyway. And of course that'll be in use as well, and that works on your biceps and the rest of your arms, depending on how you use it. There is other ways that you can use it with your feet and so forth with different attachments. So today that'll be working on my arms, this will be working on my chest, this will be working on my pelvis and hip bones, and then we'll see if I can get away with doing some sit-ups or something on here. So we'll give that a shot and see how we get on. But of course, being the first time that of course my leg's really tender, I'm on painkillers and morphine, and it's a wee bit of a challenge, but I'm going to try that and see if I can do some fitness stuff today, because of course I've been kind of out the game, and I will be out the game for a while, so I don't want to end up just sitting here and relying on the odd 10 minutes out the house hobbling about. So we'll try them one by one and see how I get on. Okay, so I'm going to start on the chest press, which would be 10 on a routine of 3 batches. So 3 sets of 10, and this will work the chest. So here we go. Now you can do this as a plank, or you can do it on your knees. Now because I'm injured, I'm going to do it on my knees. Even that is difficult. There's 10 to start with. there's 20. So just, you can take a break in between each, but it's working up here on the biceps and obviously across here on the chest. We'll get the final one out of the way. Whoa. So this here is useful for anyone that's got any pelvic pain, or it also releases all the tension on your hip bone, along with getting your legs going in and out like that. As I said before, daily you're just doing that, and this here gets these joints working that you don't use often on a daily basis. So you can do this in reps as well, but you can also do a one hit wonder of maybe 20 or 30. It's entirely up to yourself. So there's 15. Sorry, hoodie's in the way. Obviously my leg's killing me, but this is the way you recover. That's 2 batches of 15. Now, obviously I'm not as mobile as I normally would be. I can feel it down the side of my calf and on my kneecap, based on the injury. So this is the most flexible and mobile I've been. So 2 batches of 15 on that, and even then I can feel it on the inside of my groin, which is a good thing because that means those muscles are actually being used. So we then move on to the next thing. So your classic sit-ups. I'm using a mat with a back arch on it. It's better for the spine if you do it that way. You can do it on yoga mats and stuff like that, but this one here is designed primarily for that. There is loads of ways you can do sit-ups and crunches and stuff. I'm just going down the classic route. Here we go. Now that's it with the foot on the ground, but you can actually put your knees in the air. A bit more tricky, but it's a bit more crunch to the torso. So I'll give that a shot, but it is 3 batches of 10 again, especially if you're in my position. So obviously you would maybe do a larger workout, but just so you don't overdo it. And that's how it'll be for me. But it's better than doing nothing. So you can do it like this. Now I like doing a wee bit more on these, but that's 20 of them. Now you can't see it all, but you put your foot on the very centre of the rubber and pull up the way, and that'll work your arms. There's different ways you can do it as well, but if I start on this one again, that's just working my biceps. So right down here, that's where it's working. Right there, across and down. The same as doing a dumbbell, which I'm moving on to actually as well, which is slightly different. Okay, so the other way is if I stand on it, you stand on the middle and pull it up like this with one arm at a time. And then you simply drop that side and rotate. And again, all these exercises I'll be doing multiple times over. Oh. But considering that's the first time I've moved without these, you know, it just shows promising signs. But from one half of the Climbing Clowns, this is my mini home workout. This one's brief. Of course, I'm going to keep doing this after. So this is the damage that I've done to my leg, which is the snapped tibia just down here, which snapped out the way after being operated because of the complex muscle syndrome that swole my leg up. There was 2 pressure cuts, one on this side to shrink down the leg due to the swelling. There's a screw down the bottom there and a screw that goes up the top here, along with cutting the hole to put the poles in the way. So they're working beside my actual bone, the 2 poles, the 4 pins and the screws. So this is why obviously I can't hike or play football or anything like that for the time being. You can see the stitches are out and it's just drying over. But unfortunately the pain's too unbearable to actually go any further than maybe maximum a couple of 100 yards on flat land. But yep, this is what we can resort to for upcoming. This is what we can do.